I was sprawled out on my bed, one arm behind my head, mindlessly scrolling through my phone when I heard the front door open. I didn't think much of it. Liam had a habit of coming in late, sometimes with a girl, sometimes alone. There was something different. His footsteps were quick, almost urgent, and before I could even look up, my bedroom door swung open. Liam stepped inside, and click, he locked the door. My stomach tightened. I sat up.
Are my phone slipping from my fingers?
Onto the sheets? What? Liam didn't answer. He stood there, his back against the door, his chest rising and falling like he had just run a marathon. His jaw was clenched, his hands balled into fists at his sides. He looked nervous. Liam never looked nervous. A strange energy filled the room, thick and suffocating. My mind started racing. Why the hell did he lock the door? Everything okay? I asked, trying to keep my voice even casual, despite the fact that my heart was suddenly hammering in my chest. Liam exhaled sharply and ran a hand through his messy blonde hair. He looked at the floor, then at the wall, then back at the floor runnywhere. But at me. And that's when it hit me. He's not just nervous. He's freaking out. The realization sent a jolt through me. Was he in trouble? Did something happen? My mind scrambled for answers. Maybe he got into a fight. Maybe he needed a place to crash. Maybe Liam took a hesitant step forward. Then another. I swallowed hard, suddenly hyper-aware of the way the air shifted between us. No, this is something else. I had lived with Liam for over a year. I knew him. I knew how he moved, how he talked, how he carried himself. This wasn't just some random moment of stress. Something was different. And then, for the briefest second, he looked at me. Really looked at me. His blue eyes were clouded with something raw, something I had never seen before. My pulse spiked. Liam, I said cautiously, my voice quieter than before. What's going on? Opened his mouth, then hesitated. His fingers twitched at his sides, like he wanted to reach for something, or maybe someone. And in that moment, I knew. Whatever he was about to say, it was going to change everything, Liam. And I had been roommates for over a year now, and from the outside looking in, we were an unlikely pair. He was the classic straight guy, athletic, charming, and effortlessly cool. The kind of guy who could walk into a room and have everyone's attention without even trying. He played soccer on weekends, worked out religiously, never had trouble finding a girl to take home. And then there was me. I wasn't awkward or shy, held my own. But compared to Liam, I wasn't exactly the life of the party I'd preferred. Quiet nights and good music. Deep conversations over mindless small talk. And of course, there was one very big difference between us. Liam was straight. I was not. And that had been a problem for me since day one. I wasn't supposed to be into my roommate. That was rule number one. But from the moment he moved and flashing, that easy grin, throwing himself onto the couch like he owned the place. Shirtless more often than not, I knew I was screwed, so I buried it. Pushed it down, ignored the way my stomach flipped. Whenever he walked around in nothing but sweatpants, or the way my heart kicked up whenever he smiled at me like I was the only person in the room, because it didn't matter. Liam was straight, and that meant whatever I felt. It was one-sided. At least that's what I told myself. But sometimes he made me question everything. There were moments, little moments, like the time we were watching a movie, sitting way too close on the couch, and he absent-mindedly played with the hem of my hoodie. Probably didn't even realize he was doing it, but I did. I felt every brush of his fingers against my sleeve like a slow burn. Or the way he looked at me sometimes. Like really looked at me when he thought I wasn't paying attention. His gaze would linger, his blue eyes soft, like he was seeing something he wasn't supposed to. And then there was the touching. Liam was always too comfortable with me. He'd throw an arm around my shoulders, tug on my hoodie strings, squeeze my knee when he laughed too hard. Once, when we were out drinking, he hooked his chin over my shoulder, his breath warm against my neck as he whispered something stupid about the bartender being into me. I told myself it was just him being Liam. He was touchy with everyone. But then there were the times when it didn't feel so harmless, like when his hand would linger just a little too long. or when his teasing sounded a little too much like flirting, or when I caught him watching me with a look I couldn't quite place. And every time, I convinced myself I was imagining it, wishful thinking, because Liam was straight. That's what I told myself. That's what I had to believe. But now, he was standing in my room. Door locked, his face tense, his fingers twitching at his sides. And for the first time, I wasn't sure if I had been wrong all along. The silence was unbearable. Liam stood a few feet away, shifting on his feet, his fists clenching and unclenching like he was fighting himself. He still hadn't said a word. My heart was racing. This wasn't normal. Liam didn't get nervous, didn't hesitate. He was the guy who could sweet-talk his way out of anything, who always knew what to say. But now, he looked lost. I swallowed, my voice quieter than I wanted it to be. Liam, whatever this is, just say it. He let out a heavy breath, running a hand through his messy blonde hair. His jaw tensed, and for a second, I thought he might back out, but then finally he spoke. I don't know what's wrong with me. His voice was rough, low, unsteady. A chill ran down my spine. What are you talking about? Liam shook his head like he was frustrated. I mean, I don't get it. Never. He exhaled sharply, eyes darting to the floor. I've never felt like this before. A sharp pressure settled in my chest. Like what? I didn't move. I barely even breathed. I don't know when it started, Liam continued, voice tight, raw. Maybe it was always there and I just ignored it, but lately it's been getting worse. He let out a humorless laugh. And I don't know what the hell to do about it. His words were hitting me in waves, crashing over me, dragging me under. This wasn't happening. It couldn't be happening. Liam ran a hand down his face, exhaling hard. I don't think I can keep pretending. Stomach twisted. Pretending what? His eyes finally met mine, and suddenly, I couldn't breathe. That I don't want you. The words hit me like a punch to the chest. I felt my pulse hammering in my throat, my hands curling into the sheets beneath me. No. He doesn't mean it like that. He can't mean it like that. Liam must have seen the shock on my face because he let out another breath and sat down heavily on the edge of my bed. His shoulders sagged like he was carrying the weight of the world. This is messing me up, Jaden, he admitted, voice almost desperate. I don't get it. I've never looked at a guy this way before, never even thought about it. But with you, he trailed off, shaking his head. It's different. You're different. My chest felt too tight. Liam, I'm serious, he said, his gaze intense. I don't know what this means for me. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying right now. But I know that every time I see you with someone else, it drives me crazy. I know that when we talk late at night, it's the best part of my day. I know that when I look at you, I feel he swallowed hard. I feel something I don't understand. I felt my heart clench. This was everything I had ever wanted to hear from him. And yet it wasn't, because there was fear in his voice, uncertainty. And I knew what happened when straight guys got curious. They figured themselves out. They experimented. And then they moved on. I exhaled slowly, forcing myself to stay calm. Liam, I can't be some phase for you. He flinched. That's not what this is. Then what is it? Pushed. Because you're standing here telling me all of this, but you don't even know if you want this. You don't know if you want me. Liam's face twisted like the words physically hurt. I do want you. For now, I shot back before I could stop myself. He looked like I had slapped him. The pain in his expression made my stomach churn. But I couldn't let myself get pulled into this. Not when the risk was too high. I need you to be sure, I said, my voice quieter now. Because I've been down this road before, and I won't do it again. I can't. Liam swallowed hard, nodding slowly. He looked wrecked, like he was. Losing something he didn't even know he wanted until now. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Then, finally, he whispered, I don't want to lose you. And that was the problem. Because I already knew if this went wrong, I was the one who'd be left broken. Liam sat on the edge of my bed, head in his hands, his whole body tense like he was bracing for impact. I wanted to say anything, but my throat was too tight. I didn't trust my own voice. Then, finally, he exhaled and looked up at me. "Have you ever thought about it?" I frowned. Thought about what? The word hung in the air between us, heavy and dangerous. My heart stuttered. "Liam, He dragged a hand through his hair. "Have you ever looked at me and wondered if this could be something?" I let out a sharp breath, shaking my head. "Are you kidding me?" "Of course I have. I live with you. I know every damn detail about you, how you take your coffee, how you sleep with the TV on, how you hum under your breath when you're trying to concentrate." I swallowed hard, but it never mattered. "Because you're straight." Liam's jaw clenched. "I don't know what I am." His words sent a jolt through me. He wasn't denying it. He wasn't saying no. He was saying, "I don't know." And somehow, that was worse. I crossed my arms over my chest, trying to keep my voice steady. "What if you wake up tomorrow and realize this was just some late-night crisis? What if you regret it?" Liam shook his head. "I won't." "You can't promise that," I said, voice quieter now. A long silence stretched between us. The air felt too thick, too charged. Then, before I could react, he reached for me. His fingers brushed against mine, hesitant, unsure, testing. I should have pulled away. I should have stopped this before it started, but I didn't. I let him touch me, slowly, carefully, our fingers intertwined. A shaky exhale left his lips, his grip tightening around mine like he was afraid I'd disappear if he'd let go. I stared down at our hands, my chest rising and falling in time with his. This was real. Too real. I looked up, and suddenly he was closer. His breath was warm against my skin, his eyes searching mine for permission, maybe, or a sign that he wasn't alone in this. I didn't move, and then he kissed me. It wasn't rushed or desperate. It wasn't some messy, hungry collision of lips. It was hesitant, exploring, like he was memorizing the feeling, like he was trying to understand what it meant, and God help me. I kissed him back. For the briefest moment, I let myself believe this could be real, that he meant it, that tomorrow wouldn't come crashing down around us. But then reality hit me like a freight train. I pulled away, breathing hard. Liam, his brows furrowed, confusion flickering across his face. "What's wrong?" "Everything." I stood up, running a hand through my hair, trying to calm the storm raging inside me. This can't happen," I said, forcing the words out, even though they felt like they were tearing me apart. "You don't know what you're doing." Liam flinched like I had just slapped him. "I know exactly what I'm doing." "No, you don't," I said, my voice almost breaking. "You're figuring yourself out, and that's fine." But I exhaled shakily. "I can't be the person you figure it out with." His expression crumbled, and for the first time, I realized maybe this wasn't just some impulse for him. Maybe this was real. But it didn't matter, because if he changed his mind, if he walked away later, I wouldn't survive it. And that was a risk I couldn't take. Liam jerked back, like he'd been burned. His eyes were wide, his breath coming fast, his whole body tense like he was ready to bolt. And then he did. "Shit," he muttered under his breath, running a shaky hand through his hair. He stumbled to his feet, avoiding my gaze, already backing toward the door. I shouldn't have done that. My stomach twisted. I knew this would happen. I knew it. Still, it didn't stop the ache from spreading through my chest, slow and suffocating. "Liam, I need to go," he cut in, voice rushed, frantic. He fumbled with the lock, his hands trembling. I need to think." And then he was gone. The door clicked shut, and silence swallowed the room. I sat there, staring at the empty space he left behind, my pulse still racing. The ghost of his lips lingered on mine, but instead of warmth, all I felt was the cold sting of reality. I should have stopped it. I should have never let him kiss me, because now I was exactly where I swore I wouldn't be hurting over something that was never mine to begin with. The next day, Liam was avoiding me. I could feel it before I even saw him. The apartment felt different, heavier. like there was something unspoken hanging in the air between us. And when I finally stepped into the kitchen that morning, he was already there, standing by the counter with a cup of coffee in his hands. His back was to me, his posture stiff. I swallowed hard. Morning, he flinched. "Hey," he mumbled without turning around. I exhaled slowly, bracing myself. "Are we going to talk about it?" Liam set his coffee down a little too hard. I don't know what to say. I studied him, my heart sinking. "You regret it." He went silent, and, honestly, that silence was louder than any answer he could have given me. I nodded, forcing a tight smile. "Right, got it." "It's not like that," Liam said quickly, finally turning to face me. His expression was tense, conflicted. "Scared?" "No." I let out a dry laugh, because it sure feels like it. Liam opened his mouth, then closed it again. He looked like he wanted to say something, anything. The words wouldn't come, and that hurt more than anything. I forced myself to keep my voice steady. "Look, Liam, I get it. You were caught up in the moment. You're confused. It's fine." It wasn't fine, but what choice did I have? Liam ran a hand down his face, exhaling sharply. I need time." I nodded again, but deep down, I already knew how this would end, because when people needed time, usually just needed an excuse to walk away, and I wasn't sure if I was strong enough to watch him do it. A knock at my door, soft, hesitant. I stared at it, my pulse quickening. It was him. For a split second, I considered not answering, letting him stand there, just like I had stood there this morning, waiting for something that wasn't going to come. But I wasn't that person. With a quiet breath, I pushed myself off the bed and opened the door. Liam stood there, hands shoved deep into the pockets of his hoodie, eyes flickering up to meet mine before darting away. He looked wrecked. "Hey," he murmured. I didn't say anything, just stepped aside. He took the silent invitation and walked in, but he didn't move far, stood near the doorway, shifting on his feet like he wasn't sure if he was allowed to stay. I crossed my arms. "What do you want, Liam?" Exhaled slowly. "To talk." I let out a short, bitter laugh. "Now you want to talk?" His jaw tightened. I messed up. "Hey, no kidding." Silence. Liam looked down, rubbing the back of his neck. "I freaked out," he admitted, voice rough. "Kissed you and he swallowed. Hell out of me. Something twisted inside me. I forced myself to keep my face blank. "Hey, why?" Liam hesitated, then met my gaze. "Because it wasn't just a kiss." I sucked in a sharp breath. He stepped closer, cautious. I thought running away would make it easier, that if I just ignored it, it would go away. He let out a humorless laugh, but it didn't. I clenched my fists at my sides, my heart hammering. "What are you saying, Liam?" He hesitated then. Finally, he let his walls down. "I'm saying I don't want to pretend anymore." My breath hitched. Liam took another step, slow and careful, like he was afraid I'd push him away. "I don't know what this makes me. I don't have all the answers. But I know one thing." His voice dropped lower, rough with emotion. "It's you. It's always been you." I hated how much I wanted to believe him, but I couldn't be. Naive, I took a step back. What happens when you wake up tomorrow and realize this was just a mistake? When you meet some girl and suddenly I don't fit into your life anymore? Liam's expression tightened with something almost like pain. "That's not going to happen." I let out a shaky breath. "You don't know that?" "Yes, I do," he said firmly. "Because it's not about me being curious. It's not about me being confused." He exhaled sharply. "It's about you, Jaden. You and the way I feel when I'm around you. It's the way I always feel when I'm around you." Swallowed hard, my walls crumbling no matter how hard I tried to keep them up. I was scared, Liam admitted. Scared of what this means? Scared of losing you? But running away, that scared me even more. His words cracked something inside me. I searched his face, looking for hesitation, for uncertainty, for anything that told me he wasn't ready. For this, but I didn't find it. All I saw was him raw, open. Here I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. "If we do this, I can't be a secret, Liam." His expression softened. like he already knew I'd say that. I wouldn't ask you to be. I nodded. I was feeling something loosen inside, me something that had been wound too tight for too long. Liam took another step closer. And this time, when he reached for my hand, I didn't pull away, because for the first time I believed him. The next few days felt different. Not in a bad way, not in an awkward way, just different. Liam wasn't avoiding me anymore. If anything, he was around more than ever, always finding reasons to linger, sitting next to me on the couch, brushing against me when he walked by, leaning close when we talked, but we hadn't kissed again. And maybe that was my fault, because even though I wanted to believe him, a part of me still wondered, was he really ready? Then, one night, Liam answered that question for me. We were at a small gathering at our friend Mason's apartment. Okay, it wasn't a party, just a few of us talking, laughing, drinking at some point. I stepped outside onto the balcony to get some air. A few minutes later, Liam followed. He didn't say anything at first, just leaned against the railing next to me, his shoulder barely touching mine. Then, after a beat, he exhaled and said, "I meant what I said, you know." I turned to look. At him? About what? Liam hesitated, then met my gaze. About this. About you? My heart pounded. Liam, before I could finish, he reached for my hand in public. Not in the safety of our apartment. Not behind closed doors. Here, where anyone could see. My breath caught. "Are you sure?" I asked, voice barely above a whisper. Liam nodded. "I don't care who knows. I just care about you." I swallowed hard, my grip tightening around his. Maybe it shouldn't have meant so much. Maybe it was just holding hands, but to me, it was everything. When we got back to the apartment later that night, something shifted. Liam shut the door behind us, and the second it clicked into place, he turned to, determined, certain, and then he kissed me. Not hesitant, not questioning. Certain. His hands framed my face, his lips pressing against mine with a quiet desperation, like he was making up for every moment of doubt, every second of hesitation. And this time, I didn't pull away. I kissed him back, fully, completely, letting myself believe, letting myself have this, because this wasn't just some fleeting moment. It wasn't confusion. It wasn't curiosity. It was us. When we finally pulled apart, breathless, Liam rested his forehead against mine. "I don't have all the answers," he murmured, "but I know I want this. I want you." I let out a shaky breath, my hands still tangled in his hoodie. "Then we'll figure it out together." His lips curled into a small, lopsided smile. Together. And for the first time, I let myself believe that this, whatever it was, wherever it was going, was real. Because it wasn't just lust. It was love.